This is the third and final video of Cajun tradition making boudin. I want to thank you for watching and would appreciate any feedback, good or bad. I'm always open for suggestions. I would like to say that the old-time recipes for boudin did call for the use of certain animal byproducts like internal organs, like liver, heart, kidneys. These were all boiled together in seasoned water until fully cooked, then passed through a grinder, after which the boudin sausages were stuffed by hand using hollowed-out cow horns. Today we have all the modern conveniences which affords us faster and more practical ways of making this time-honored sausage. Still, there is a lot to be said about making boudin using the meat grinder sausage attachments instead of a sausage stuffer. When you use the meat grinder, you must pass the already ground up boudin to be slightly ground up once more. But it changes the texture slightly, but not so much so as to make a big difference. And no, these days we don't use those internal organs anymore, just choice cuts of pork, with the exception of a small amount of liver, which is, of course, optional. When the pork and vegetables are sufficiently boiled, you will want to drain the liquid off. Make sure that all of it's drained off because you want the meat to be as dry as possible. But reserve some of the seasoned broth to moisten the ground pork once it's gone through the meat grinder because you have to rehydrate it or get it moistened again. Later on in this video, you will see how I use the liquid to help disperse the seasonings throughout the mixture. Once all the liquid is drained, you can set the meat aside and allow it to cool down for a few minutes so that you don't burn yourself when handling it in the grinder. When feeding the throat of the meat grinder, try to introduce the boiled vegetables as you add the meat. Since there are no bones to process, it takes just a couple of Texas minutes to grind 5 or 6 pounds of meat with an electric meat grinder. Using some of the liquid that the pork and vegetables were boiled in, I'm going to add my seasonings to it and mix it very well so that it will disperse throughout the ground up pork. You will want to work and mix the meat and seasoning mixture well. Then you can check it for taste. If it's not spicy enough, it is easy to add more at this point before forming the mixture into links. After I added the rice and the green chopped onions, and I mixed it very well, my guests were here. We decided to taste it, and we all agreed that we needed a little more spice to it. So what I did is added some more ground red pepper, and then that satisfied everybody. Now we begin the process of making the boudin sausage links. If you don't care for boudin stuffed into hog casings, we have a recipe on our website which will show you how to make boudin balls without the extra fuss of stuffing them into sausage shapes or hog casings. I would like to remind you that after you have finished stuffing your sausage, you must parboil them for a couple minutes to cook the raw casing. Everything else is already cooked. Don't forget to take them out of the hot water after 2 or 3 minutes of parboiling, or they could burst. And it's also a good idea to use a round toothpick to perforate the sausage links in 2 or 3 places so they don't explode when you heat them up in the microwave oven. Don't forget to twist the links in opposite directions each time. 3 or 4 times is good. You know, the one thing about we Cajuns, as you can see right here. If we didn't have hands, we would literally be speechless. We do a lot of talking with our hands, and no telling I don't remember what I'm talking about here, but I think I was telling my friend about how we used pig liver and other organs to make the original boudin. As you can see here, we netted a little over 10 pounds of boudin using a 60-40 mix. That's 60% meat and 40% long grain rice. If you want a meatier boudin sausage, you can cut down on the rice. Well, that pretty much does it. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to visit us often at realcajuncooking.com for more great Cajun recipes. Hope to see you soon. Come back here.